Happy you're here. All right, we'll get started so that we don't go over again this week. Let me share my screen. Brenda is joining us now. Hey, Brenda. Let me make this bigger so that I can share my screen. There it is. Share screen. Desktop, share. Okay. Here we go. Oh, you're kidding. I just had it down here in the bottom. All right. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing for just a second while I find this. I just had it up. And then when I did the Zoom, all right. Okay. Okay, here we go. Got it up. I would like it to be big. How's that?
Looks good.
Okay. So today we are talking about meal prep strategy. So all the tips and tricks don't matter unless eating healthy is a priority in your life. Once you make it a priority, strategies, tips, and hacks become valuable. Remember, meal prep doesn't have to take hours, but it's okay if it's a slow process at first. You'll get faster the more you do it. So the first part of meal prep and making your strategy is looking at your week and figuring out what's happening that week. So you pull out your calendar, you look at what's going on, what's the big days are, what's going to get in the way of like making things difficult for you. And you write those into your calendar. And then you think about the meals that are like your linchpin meals. So what are those important meals that if they don't happen, everything else falls apart? So for some people, they like to make a big dinner so that they have leftovers for lunch the next day. Other people need to have their breakfast ready to go so that they can start their day strong with a good breakfast. So you just have to think about which meals are going to be the most important meals for you to get in and start with those. You don't want, sometimes if you start trying to do every single meal, it's just too much at the beginning and you can get overwhelmed and want to quit. So we kind of recommend that you start smaller and maybe just focus on the one meal that's going to set you up for success. And then as you get better at meal planning, you can add in those other meals into your meal planning. So next step is plan those meals. So whichever one is your linchpin meal, plan for those. And everything else is just bonus at that point. Make your grocery list, write out everything you need for your primary meals and anything else you might want for snacks and other meals. Order or shop, get organized and prep. So I like ordering and shopping. So ordering like the primary stuff I find very helpful. And then I go in for my produce because sometimes I feel like they don't do a good job picking out produce. So if you're one of the people who don't like going, like ordering all your veggie or all of your groceries because they give you like bad produce or they substitute stuff that you don't like, you can always like order the primary like haul of your groceries and then go in for your for just those few like items that you're kind of picky about. But getting the chunk of your groceries ordered saves you from like not buying all of the impulse buys that you might throw into your cart just because they look good or you're hungry or something like that. And it saves a lot of time too if you order your groceries. And then step 6 is to get organized and prepped. So prep as needed for your week. This could be preparing full meals and putting into containers, or simply thawing out your proteins. It doesn't have to be like Pinterest pretty or anything like that. It might even mean just chopping your vegetables or washing your fruit, just whatever is the easiest for you to set yourself up for success. So what we're going to do today is you're going to pull out your calendar. We've got little like time to do this tonight. You're going to pull out your calendar. And it doesn't have to be exactly for next week, but it can be just a mock trial of like how you want to meal prep. I want you to think about how many times you want to meal prep during the week. I do too. I like Sundays and Wednesday, or Sundays and Thursdays really. So like Sundays, I'll do a grocery shop or order, and I'll prepare a lot of food. And then I look at what's in my fridge on Wednesdays and then like get more food on Thursdays and do a little bit of extra prep to get me through the weekend. So I want you to think about what's happening through the week, how many times you want to prep, when you should make your grocery orders, and when you want to plan those groceries. So take a few minutes, look at your calendars, think about what day am I planning, what day am I shopping, and what day am I cooking. Does anybody have any big ideas for next week?
Like big ideas on what we're making, or
Mm-hmm.
no. So my problem is like nothing, I don't know what to make. So I have to like look at cookbooks or something to like give me an idea on what might sound good.
So did you do the top 3 work page?
Is that the like listing the stuff that you like as like
Top 3
proteins?
proteins, veggies,
Top
carbs,
3?
and fats. Yeah.
Anyway, I did a worksheet, whatever that
Mhm.
was, that had like the 4 boxes.
Yep.
But
So
I mean, that helps for it. So I made on Sunday, I did some food prep.
mhm.
And I made lunches ahead of time because that's something. Well, I also got ingredients for dinners because if I don't figure out what I'm going to make on Sunday, then I just end up ordering pizza or something. So I made my lunches, which I've never done before. I usually just eat like a frozen burrito or just something quick and easy. And so it was nice in that I could like look at my list of like what vegetables do I like and just buy those. I ordered the groceries on Saturday night so that they showed up Saturday night, and then Sunday night or Sunday morning I could just go right into making them, which was helpful because then I didn't have to spend like the first part of Saturday figure out what am I even going to make, and then going grocery shopping. Like I got that part done on Saturday, and then made it on Sunday. And so I was able to like pick the stuff that I like for vegetables and like fill up. I have a little container. So like half the container is filled up with vegetables that I like. And that was easy. And then trying to figure out what protein I might like, which I made like a healthy tuna salad. It doesn't have any mayonnaise in it or anything. For some, and then I boiled some eggs for others.
That's
But then when
awesome.
it comes to dinner, I need like recipes. Like I don't really know what, I can't just have like, I don't know, I guess I could just eat hard boiled. I just don't know what else I would like or what to make, how to make it taste good. I don't know. I'm a recipe person. So that's where I struggle. And so I bought ingredients like, so yesterday I made burrito bowls
Mhm.
that have like chicken, you just throw chicken in a crock pot with salsa. So I did that yesterday, like 20-minute break between meetings. I got it in the crock pot and then chopped up some romaine, and it had a little bit of cheese and supposed to have rice, but I'm not a really big rice person, so I didn't put that in there. And some like pico de gallo. Anyway, so that was good. But it's like, I wouldn't be able to do that without a recipe. I would be like, I don't know. I don't really like plain chicken. Like I need, I need ideas. So I can't just sit and be like, all right, what am I going to make next week? Because I like have no idea. I can't, I'm not creative, or I don't know.
So one thing that's going to be helpful for you is to like start your list of meals that we like, right? So
Right.
easy things like that, your burrito bowl, your chicken with just a can of salsa, which is like, or jar of salsa. That's like the easiest thing in the world to do,
Right.
And if you don't like rice, like what can we use for carbs? Because we need to have some carbs in there. So
Right. Which I can eat rice. I also just like ran out of time because I had to go meet up with a former coworker, and I literally had like 10 minutes to eat. and like chop, like I realized I chopped up the romaine or cleaned it. So I was just like, oh my God, I'm just trying to like put this together and like eat something. And then I was like, oh my God, I haven't cooked the rice. I don't have time.
Gotcha.
So I went without it. And my carb was I had a cocktail. But we went to a cocktail bar. So
That's great.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the future, you can make your rice ahead of time. I make a big pot of rice in my Instapot, and I just keep it in the fridge, and we just scoop it out as we go. We'll eat it for breakfast. We'll eat it for dinners, like we just finished it tonight because it's Wednesday. So my fridge is starting to empty out. So you can do that. You can like have all your potatoes roasted, like ready to go, so that you can just, I find that carbs are the easier ones to keep stored, to pull out. Like you can cook your meat fresh, you can cook your veggies fresh, but having your carbs already prepared in the fridge, ready to go, you can just scoop them, throw them in. I eat out of a bowl a lot. And I think a lot of people like in Fitme do as well. Because we can just like pull the stuff out, scoop it into our bowl, put like the veggies on top and the meat on top, and then just like whatever sauce or seasoning. So like next week we're going to talk a lot about seasonings and sauces, but this week we can kind of touch on it too. So like you said, salsa is a great sauce. There's all kinds of like Primal Kitchen sauces. Those are made with avocado oil. There's like hardly any sugar. I think they use more natural sweeteners like honey and maple syrup and stuff to sweeten their sauces. So Primal Kitchen is a really good brand to investigate and try out for different sauces. But you can just roast a tray of chicken thighs and then add it to your rice and broccoli, and then put sauce on it, different flavors of sauce. It's boring, but like I said last week, like we just need to eat. It's like food doesn't need to be entertainment. And so when you have that list of like proteins that you like, and that you can just make it and like have it ready to go, you don't have to overthink your
Right.
recipes, So like tonight, I just had some chopped up like beef stew meat, and I had mixed it with some garlic and some basil that I had just that was going bad. Like I had bought it for a different night, and I just threw it in the air fryer and it came out really good. Was an experiment. My husband was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I'm trying this out." And it came out pretty good. Like it was a little chewy, but it wasn't terrible. And we just had it with some rice and I sauteed some kale.
Mm.
I know your kids probably wouldn't eat kale, right?
Actually, what's weird is my daughter loves kale.
Mm.
I have a very picky daughter. And she really likes like pasta with Parmesan, but also one of like the 5 foods she actually likes is raw kale. She'll only eat it raw. She just likes to snack on it like a bunny. It's weird. And broccoli, only raw.
Mhm.
She loves kale and broccoli.
That's awesome.
But then I have a son who he refuses to touch a vegetable unless it's like in a smoothie.
Yeah.
And he will only eat fruits, and she hates fruits. So I can't win.
Okay, so looking at our weeks, do we all kind of know when we need to plan and when we're going to grocery shop or order?
Yeah, I think for me, it's like I have to put reminders because I have it in my calendar and then I forget that it's in my calendar and then other stuff happens and then I forget about it. So I'm like, I have reminders and alarms and all sorts of things set for me. So that's probably my biggest challenge. It's just like life happens and then I forget. And then I get to Friday night and then I'm like, crap.
What if you put like a sticky note on your fridge?
Yeah, I think
On your coffee
in the
pot,
I think one
on
in
your
the
coffee maker.
bathroom and then one in the fridge and then like
Put it on your coffee maker.
yeah, that's a good idea. I made an egg bake tonight.
Awesome.
I'm trying to get out of the oven. But yeah, I think it's because I've put it in my calendar because we remember like I moved it from Thursday night to Tuesdays at lunchtime.
Mhm.
Like, well, maybe I'll do that while I'm at work and I can order my that's not cooked yet. I can order my groceries while I'm at work. And then I had like meetings that got scheduled at lunchtime. And then I like it this. And then once that happened, I just forgot about it. So yeah, it's just remembering to do it and making sure that
Yeah, it's kind of dangerous
yeah,
trying to schedule that during work hours.
do stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody have other ideas for how to remember when to plan? Sticky notes on your mirror. You need food. When do you get when do you order your
Hungry root.
no, the other one, the veggie one?
Oh, that I stopped that one coming because we're getting hungry root right now because my husband's away. I don't get the misfit markets. I just get hungry root.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's been working well. I mean, I really haven't had to do a whole lot of grocery shopping, to be honest, because I mean, with that, I get four meals, like 4 dinners and 4 lunches. And so there's only been a few things that I've had to and then because my daughter doesn't eat a ton, there's normally leftovers. So I haven't actually had to order a whole lot of groceries. So that actually has worked out really well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It'll just be when you stop using that
yeah, but I just have to get into a better routine. Yeah.
What day do you like pick out your meals for Hungry Root?
So I don't even pick them out. Like that's how it's just fly by the seat of my pants. Like they just send me stuff.
Uh-huh.
I don't even like pick them out. Like, oh, my dogs are barking.
Okay.
Yep, there they go. So, but yeah, no, I just let Hungry Root pick them for me. I'm gonna go deal with the dog.
Okay. So, Kristen, something you can do is just like designate, Tuesdays for taco night, Tuesday tacos, Taco Tuesday or whatever it is. And then just like, you can rotate your meats in your crock pot for that. And then you can make like extra so that you can make it more plain instead of making it with salsa every time. You can just make it with some chicken broth and some salt and pepper, and then add the spices later. So you can use that same chicken for like on top of a salad, or for some chicken salad, or for other flavors. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna have to get some ideas from other people for flavorings because I'm pretty bland. We use like chili powder, garlic, onions, and like salsa for everything. But like,
actually do a Taco Tuesday. My tacos are my husband's favorite food. Like, he just had his 40th birthday and I made a taco bar because that's what he likes.
yeah.
So every Tuesday we have tacos usually. And he uses a sauce that's like healthy. It's mostly like tomato sauce and some spices in it. That just comes in a packet, and mixes it in with the meat when he cooks it. And so that's actually like the one meal that we have down that's like, well, one child won't have any of it, but the other child likes it without meat, and I'll eat it. I don't love meat, but I can handle it if it's like chicken or turkey. What does he think he uses? Turkey, ground turkey.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we can keep doing. And then it's the rest of the nights that we're like, ugh.
Well, ground turkey, you can season like a Thanksgiving meal. So you can like you can use some thyme and, salt and pepper, and, throw some cranberries in there, some dried cranberries, make some sweet potatoes, in the oven. You can do like a Thanksgiving type ground turkey. I know there's a recipe that somebody uses. But when I do it, all I do is just, cook the turkey, throw some cranberries in there, salt and pepper, thyme. I've got this like Bell's seasoning that my grandma used to use for her stuffing. So I add that to it. I don't even know what's in it. I think it's just like herbs. And I just put that over a sweet potato, and it's like bomb. And then I just have some greens on the side, like salad or something. There's also like egg roll in a bowl, which you just get a bag of broccoli slaw or coleslaw, and you cook that. You don't use the dressing, obviously. You just cook that with your ground turkey, and then some like Asian seasoning. So like some soy sauce, some fish sauce, and then maybe some hot sauce, like when you eat it. Throw that over some rice. I'm trying to think of some other like easy one pot meals that you can cook if you like ground turkey. If that's one of your proteins that you dig.
I would say I like it, but I can stomach it.
Kirsten, you're unmuted. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say that I really can't cook without a recipe either. But my ex and I, we did HelloFresh and a couple other different, but the same kind of thing. And honestly, unless you're making like a super fancy thing, they usually just want you to salt and pepper the pork, chicken, whatever it is, the meat. And then go from there. So just a little salt and pepper, and we remade some of these that were just fine. Just a little salt and pepper on the whatever the protein is, or not even adding garlic or onion or anything, just basic. That it became a theme, and those boxes are really nice when you're also first learning to cook. I've always been able to follow a recipe, but the actual cooking with, anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was helpful for me because I didn't realize, like, I thought everything had to have a recipe, and it turns out it doesn't. And a little salt and pepper and olive oil go a long way.
Mhm. Yep, I agree. The simpler, the better.
Absolutely.
Add the sauces afterwards. Because
Yeah.
like my kid, like he hates it. Like if there's a fleck of pepper on his food, he won't eat it. So frustrating. So I cook everything like wicked bland, and then we just add, I have like a variety of hot sauces, different barbecue sauces. I don't have a lot of the Primal Kitchen sauces. I need to investigate those a little bit more.
Yeah,
but-
I use the Primal Kitchen. I use them a lot. Like if I'm doing, like they have a barbecue sauce, and so I've done like pulled. I don't like pork, but pulled chicken in the Instant Pot, and I literally just throw in some chicken breasts and the Primal Kitchen barbecue sauce, and I just cook them on that, and it tastes really good.
Mhm.
And so yeah, their sauces are they're really yummy. I think they're really yummy. And they they don't have sugar in them. They're much healthier. So and they have a ton. I feel like when we started using them, they only had like mayonnaise and a couple of things, but now they have like loads of sauces that you can use for cooking.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like you can just get a big bag of broccoli from the freezer section and like just have that ready, you can just chuck it into a pan and it steams up in like 5 minutes and gets, kind of well, your daughter likes raw broccoli, but like, frozen vegetables are just as good as fresh vegetables and usually a little bit more convenient because
Yeah.
they're already chopped up. But usually this is a weird fact, but the frozen veggies, they flash freeze them like as soon as they're cut, like as soon as they're harvested. And so vegetables actually lose their micronutrients the longer they sit on the shelf. So sometimes the frozen vegetables are actually a better option. Like,
Wow.
and I don't know where everybody lives and how close their grocery stores are, but there's some grocery stores here in Kentucky that who knows how long that broccoli's been sitting. It's like soggy and
Yeah.
wilted, like nothing left in there. It's just fiber.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
It's
So
not intuitive. You'd think like fresh would be better, but it makes sense.
I mean, fresh is always great too, especially if you're getting it, from the farmer's market and stuff. But
Right.
and if you're like watching the guys put it on the shelf, but there's nothing wrong with frozen. I think it gets a bad rap, There's lots of options too. And it's convenient. And like a lot of people like to use those rice packets, just like the ones that you can just microwave. I would look at the ingredients and, make sure you can, because there's some that are full of chemicals and then there's some that are just like rice. But I should probably have a list of those, the ones that are better than others. But I'm too cheap. I like to buy rice in bulk and I just cook it in my Instant Pot. Have like
Costco has, I can't think of the brand name. I want to say it's like Seeds of Change or something. And it's quinoa and brown rice. And it's really good. And it's relatively low sodium. I'm supposed to be following a low sodium diet and supposed to be. Anyway, and so and 90 seconds in the microwave and that's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. I like it just by itself, honestly. So there you go.
Well, something we talked about last week is no naked carbs.
Right. So now I would throw some broccoli or some peas or something in it. Yes.
Yep.
But it has just enough flavor to, you don't have to add anything if you don't want to. So,
yeah.
That's all.
I'm going to have to check that out. I love Costco. I don't go enough. All right, well,
Tara, if I could share, Scalina, one of the
Hey,
things
Galena.
that one of the things that we have a olive oil balsamic vinegar store here. So
Mm.
I've used different flavors of the balsamic vinegar. I mean, you have to be mindful because some of them are sweeter than
Mhm.
others, but that also helps to bring out the taste and flavor in different things. I'll sprinkle it over my bowl. I'm like you, I put a lot of things in a bowl now. So my rice, my chicken,
Yeah.
and sprinkle it, you know, just kind of drizzle it over to give it a little different flavor as
What's
well.
your favorite?
I have a lemon one that I like a lot.
Lemon.
Then I have, let's see, I'm downstairs. My favorite is I have a white balsamic. This is Cara orange and vanilla. I have
Mm.
a Napoleon herb. I have a Sicilian lemon that I like. That's probably my favorite, especially over salmon. A honey ginger, and I have a peach.
And a peach.
Mm-hmm.
Those sound awesome.
And a pumpkin spice. I guess I bought that one this fall. Last fall. But they just give different, like we said, if you take your chicken, cut it up, keep it naked, and just, you know, just kind of drizzle something over it, and it gives it just a different flavor every
Yeah.
time you eat it. So it doesn't make it seem like you're eating the same thing over and over for multiple days.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I love that idea. I'm gonna start, I only have like plain old balsamic, but I'm gonna try that out because there's a lot of good health properties to vinegar, and you're not going to be using too much of it. So it's not going to be a whole ton of sugar. So I wouldn't even worry about like if it's mixed with honey or anything like that. You're not going to be drowning your food in your vinegar.
Yeah, right. Just kind of
Yeah.
drizzle it. Mhm.
Yeah. So even the sweet ones probably aren't going to, you know, kill you with carbs.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, did you guys find the 1, 2, 3 Fitme recipe chart helpful at all this week?
So I only listened to the video a lot today. Sorry, I haven't had a chance to listen to it sooner, but I was listening to it on my way to the grocery store. And I haven't seen this chart before, and I don't think anyway, or if I have, I've forgotten about it. And I loved it. It was like really inspirational. So I had plans to go to the grocery store and pick up a few like just something unrelated. And so I was able to pick up a few things. And yeah, it was I thought it was good. I liked it. I like just because I used to be more recipe driven. And I feel like I have been able to move away from that a little bit now, but I do get bored. And so just being able to like think about different options and things to throw in there, I think is good. So I liked it.
Yeah. Should print this and just like put it inside your pantry
Yeah.
cabinet.
Yeah,
Just have it there for,
exactly.
yeah. And most of this stuff, I need to make that pork tenderloin video. I was telling the girls last week that I got some pork tenderloin, like buy one, get one. And if you listen to the video, you probably already heard me talk about it and slicing it into medallions and cooking it. It was so good. It's probably my favorite thing right now. I need to get the other one out of the freezer. But you can cook it. You can cook all this stuff like with just salt and pepper, and then, flavor it however you want afterwards. All right, well, your homework for this week is your favorite meal sheet. So it looks like this. I can't see, hold on. Let me stop sharing. Your favorite, got my grocery list on the back. Your favorite meal, hold on, let me get rid of this. There. Your favorite meal list. Your favorite breakfast, your favorite lunches, snacks, dinners, talk to the people in your lives, make a list, use your groceries essentials list if you need help with that. And then next week, we're going to talk about those. And these don't need to be Fitme. I want to know like your favorite meals. And then next week, we're going to talk about trying to like make them a little bit more healthy. And yeah, so that's what homework is this week. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about going into their meal prep for next week? Does everybody know how to cook certain things? Like, I think that's one of the basics that we forget to talk about. No, okay.
I would love, I mean, I don't know if you get, if at any point there'll be an opportunity, but I'd love to know how to use my Instant Pot more.
Okay.
Or like how to use it differently. Because the only thing I can cook in my Instant Pot is like chicken.
Yeah.
I don't know how to use it. So maybe I don't know if that's the intent of this group,
Yeah, I mean,
maybe you and I can have a separate Instant Pot class, but I feel
we
like
can talk about it now. We can like,
my
if
Instant
that,
Pot just sits there and doesn't get used, and I'd love to use it more.
we're done with like the curriculum stuff right now. So like we can, if you need to go, like you can go, but we can talk about Instapot stuff right now. I use mine for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
So there, you can look online. Mine has like different buttons for different things. But you can look online and it'll tell you like what temperature or, you know, high, low, and how many minutes to cook certain things. Like I boil my eggs in mine. I obviously make my rice, my quinoa in mine. I know people will do like a whole roast in theirs. I haven't done that yet. But if you look on, and like I even have this like magnet that has all the different like ways to cook things on your Instant Pot. But yeah, you can use it for way more than just chicken. But you
Can you cook like, I mean, so can you throw in like, could I throw in like rice and chicken and cook them all together at the same time? Or do I have to cook my rice and then take it out and then cook my chicken?
So I've done that a few different times, and it works for me sometimes, but other times the rice gets so thick, like the rice cooks faster than the chicken, and then it like gives me the burn signal, the burn signal. And so I just have to like open it, mix it around, and then usually the chicken's about done by the time that happens. But if you like make your layer of chicken thin enough, like if you chop up your thigh, I like chicken thighs because I like the extra fat going down into the rice. I trim the fat off my thighs mostly, but I do keep some fat on there just for flavor. So if you make the chunks of chicken small enough, they'll cook well, and you just use the rice setting. So it's like 12 minutes, I think, on low, or I can't remember. Mine has a rice button. So, so yeah, you can. And then I like to use like bone broth or chicken broth for my rice too, when I'm doing it with chicken.
Do you just put like a half a cup in of like the broth, or a cup of the broth? Like you just like, because I normally just throw in with like a half a cup of water or broth, and that cooks it.
For every cup of rice, you're supposed to use a cup and a half of liquid.
Okay.
So however much rice you're cooking, cup and a half of whatever liquid you're using.
I tried making yogurt in my Instant Pot and it was a disaster.
I have a friend who did that too.
It was a freaking disaster. I mean, that thing, and it like, I mean, it's days, like they're like, you're supposed to leave it in your Instant Pot for like 2 days or something ridiculous.
Yeah. I think you can do it in like the Thermomix.
Okay.
Have you guys heard of that thing? My when I lived in Australia, my neighbor had one. She everything.
Yeah, no, I have not heard of that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm gonna try the rice because yeah, I feel like my Instant Pot just sits there and doesn't get used, and I feel like there's definitely opportunities. Like I think to just have like, you know, it easier, right? You can put it on and it'll just cook and you can go do something else and come back and dinner's ready.
Yeah, I mean, you can throw frozen food in there and it'll cook.
I use it for like chilies and stuff, like when you want to cook like the meat first and like the onions, because you can use like the whatever setting where it's just like
Saute.
using the stove. Saute, thank you.
Yeah.
So I can use the saute setting and I'll use that to like cook the meat and the onions and the garlic and then add in the beans and the chicken and then like, you know, slow cooks. That way it like saves me a dish because I don't have to
Yes.
do like the stove and then the Instant Pot. Like I used to do like stove and then crock pot. And then I also use it for like soup, same thing, where if I wanted like saute carrots and celery and onion and then add in like tomatoes and then cook it. And then I can use the immersion blender in the Instant Pot to like, you know, make it a soup.
Yeah, I've made butternut squash soup in it. And yeah, with the immersion blender, you can kind of, mix it all up. It is great. I just feel like it could be used for more.
Totally. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, my husband uses it for more than I do. I use it for like a few basic things and then I use my stovetop I've got a big Dutch oven that I like to cook in.
My husband won't touch it. My husband refuses to touch the Instant Pot and the air fryer. He won't go near them. He refuses. He's like,
fryer.
they're your toys. You use them. Okay.
Salmon, if you're ever cooking salmon in your air fryer, you just like coat it with some Dijon mustard and
Mhm.
garlic, and you can do it from frozen.
Oh,
And
nice.
15 minutes at like 370, 380, whatever that mid-range temperature is, and it comes out perfect. It's like crunchy
Yeah.
on the outside and perfectly cooked on the middle.
That
And
sounds
it's so
amazing.
good. Dijon is
Sounds
just
so good.
perfect.
I've got some frozen salmon fillets actually that I have to cook up. My air fryer is my favorite thing in the kitchen.
Yep.
Oh my God. It is like my absolute, I made like sweet potato fries tonight. And like, even my daughter was like, Mom, these are perfect. She's like, you're the best mom ever. And I'm like, I know, right?
Better than your waffles and ice cream night.
Yes, I know. I was like, but yeah, I love my air fryer. It's awesome.
And I just did the salmon, probably last night or either night before last with the Dijon mustard in the air fryer. But I just learned to use my air fryer I've had it forever. And I guess I can turn my camera on. I had washed my hair and it was a mess. But I had used it to more regularly now than what I used to. But
Mhm.
now I use it pretty regular, but and the same thing with the Instant Pot. I've not used that in months, and I'm like you, it's like when I first got it and they had different recipes and things like that, and I would just throw everything in it, and then all of a sudden it just lost its newness. So I'm glad we had this conversation. I might bring it back out.
It's the best way to make your boiled eggs.
Boiled eggs?
Yes, I'll do like 7 boiled eggs at a time, and mine came with like a little egg stand, and I mean, you can use anything, but as long as they're not on the bottom, but it's just like 3 minutes on high, and then you vent it right away and take them out, and they're like, the yolk is still like bright yellow. It hasn't gotten all chalky, you know how if you overdo your eggs, and the peel comes straight off. Like they don't look like Deadpool's face. It's just done so quickly, so you don't have to pay attention.
For the salmon, what if you don't like mustard? Do you have a different recommendation?
Doesn't even taste like mustard. I promise. I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm open to try it. My husband has like a hatred of mustard that like if he even smells it in the house, he's gonna like puke.
Oh.
I can't use like mayonnaise or mustard in this house.
Or you could use soy sauce or honey. I've done it with like a honey glaze, some soy sauce and ginger, just kind of mix it together. Just season it and use lemon juice as well. But the mustard does give it like a little crust
Okay, maybe I'll try it when he's not home sometime.
And keep your fresh ginger in the freezer so that when you grate it, it like
Mhm.
grates real easy. Doesn't get all stringy.
Did you say in the freezer?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yep.
You keep your ginger in the freezer
Mhm.
and it still like shreds okay?
Shreds better than if it's like not in the freezer.
If it's fresh.
Really? I've never heard that before. I thought
you
you said
peel it
fridge. I was like,
before
yeah, I keep it in the fridge. And I'm like, wait a minute, she didn't say fridge.
Do you peel it?
I don't.
I don't, yeah. I don't bother.
You just wash it? and-
Really?
Huh. Wow.
This is mind blowing.
Yeah, my mind's blown right now.
I usually wash it as I slice it. I don't wash it before I freeze it. But I'll just take a piece off about how much I need and I'll wash it and then I'll grate it. But I don't wash it first initially.
I do. I just rinse it off and let it dry, throw it in a bag, throw it in the freezer. Yeah, it grates pretty easy and stays fresh because who uses that much ginger? Like I've
Right.
thrown away so much ginger in my life. Now I don't throw it away anymore. Okay, well, ladies, it's been a pleasure. You guys don't have anything else to talk about. I'll think about more Instapot stuff. I'll send you that chart, Virginia. I'll look for it because I know I've seen it online before. And if I can't find it, I'll take a picture of my magnet and send it to you.
Thank you.
It's on the side of the big one. We've got two because my husband can't just have one of anything. It's a hoarder. So it's on the side of the big one that we never use. All right. Well, homework is favorite meals, exactly the way you love them. And we'll dissect them a little bit and see what we can do to make them fit into your normal life. And that doesn't mean that you can never have them your normal way ever again. It just means you can rotate them through your normal Fitme days. All right.
Thanks. Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Bye.